Good morning, web heads, guys. Today is the day. Today is the day that I'm going to Megacon in Orlando for the first time in like 3 years because of COVID and all the other nonsense. I'm super stoked. It's going to be a fabulous day. I am going there with a budget. It's about $100 or so. Are we going to stick to that budget? We will find out. Because when it comes to parking, you gotta pay for it. When it comes to food, you gotta pay for it. When it has the tickets involved, you gotta pay for all of that. So that's why we're staying within the budget. First, I had to, of course, get some breakfast. Got the coffee, got the dragon fruit, I got the sandwiches. I'm taking my son and his friends. I'm gonna show you some coverage on the showroom floor. And of course, I will show you all this stuff that I pick up. So today, guys, hopefully you enjoy the Megacon video. Okay, so we arrived at the convention center, and it's probably a good, I don't know, 35 minutes before the show actually starts. And the line just to park is absolutely insane. So this place is going to be exploding today. All right, guys, you can see that we have made it here to Megacon. We're right outside the doors, but right in front, this is it right here. It's the Beaver bus. I gotta tag this video on Beaver. We get to see the bus. The man has done some impressive work with it. We can see he's got everything on it. That is pretty badass. That is cool. Maybe I'll run into Beaver in this con. Check out this side. So that's cool. We're about to go get our tickets and go on inside to Megacon.
Not there at least, but it has a
Holy crap. Whoa, we got big swords. We got big swords. Like you're lucky, man. It's intense. It's so intense.
God, man. Dude, that's impressive right there.
like a little mix up video games. So loud. Like Mike and Mom. Yeah, exactly.
Super cool. Fighting through the convention crowd, you gotta love it. Say hi, guys. Hello. You can see everyone behind me. It's insane. Okay, webheads, I am back from Megacon. It's actually the morning after. It's Monday. I didn't have a chance to finish recording the rest of the video because I got back a little later. It's my daughter's birthday. We had to go out for dinner. So I'm showing you what I picked up on Sunday, okay? So here is the mysterious Disney bag, right? That's where all my stuff was in. I wasn't going to pay $20 for a Megacon 2022 bag. I had a 2017 or 18 bag. I don't know where it went, but I brought this with me, so I saved myself 20 bucks. So when it comes to the budget, that's a good start, right? I don't know, man. I don't know if I stayed within the budget. We're going to do the math, and we're going to see what happens, but it's not looking good. So here we go. I got this bag here, and I got this stuff right here. Inside, it's also a mysterious white bag. So let's get started. So first thing I want to show you guys is I don't normally spend a lot of money on prints when I go to the shop, but I saw this one particular artist and never seen him before or heard of him before, but his name was Dominic Perosa, and I thought he had great art, and I was like, you know what, man, there's something there that definitely caught my eye, and it was like his background banner, and I wound up getting this from him. I thought this was done absolutely beautiful. He signed this, and this was a $5 print. I'm like, man, oh man, that is so gorgeous. I'm like, this is one of the nicest Spider-Punk drawings I have ever seen. So I was like, I had to pick this up for $5, right? And so I got that. So let's add that to the tally, $5, right? Next, I did not see anything that had to do with Gunslinger. So he was the only person that did a Gunslinger piece. And he had this. I'm like, man, that's even better. I'm like, this is so cool. And you guys know how I feel about Gunslinger, right? So awesome. Now, he only did 25 of these, and this was number 4 out of 25. So I was like, God, that's so good, man. I would love to hang this up somewhere. I don't know where I can put this where you guys could see it all the time. I don't think I can ever replace that. But this is so nice. I love both these pieces. All right, so those were the art pieces I got. Those were the only 2. And I paid like 15 bucks for them, okay? So there we go. We got 10 and 5, 15 bucks for those. All right, next. And I had a little bit of a theme going into this. It wasn't a planned theme, but once I got going, I was like, all right, here we go. So I did get 2 signature books. I met 2. One artist, one writer, okay? And I wanted to meet Donnie Cates. He wasn't there. I wanted to meet Zeb Wells. He wasn't there. I mean, they were supposed to be there, but they weren't there. There was a lot of people that just weren't there. Maybe they were out to lunch, or maybe they were done. I have no idea. Clinton Crane had like no books left, you know? So that's what happens when you go on a Sunday, right? But I wound up meeting Benjamin Percy, and I got this issue of Wolverine issue 3 signed by him. Met him, great guy. I wish he did have some Ghost Rider stuff, but he didn't have anything. But I love this cover. I talked to him, really nice guy. But I saw this cover, and I was like, man, this is gorgeous variant. I have to have this, and I have to have him sign it. So I wound up getting that signed, and this was a $30 book. So we'll add that to the total. All right, next, I wound up meeting Ryan Otley, another great guy, and I debated. I'm like, should I have him sign a Spider-Man book, or should I have him do an Invincible book? But I was like, why not have the guy that drew Invincible, right, sign an Invincible book? So I wound up having him sign Invincible issue 100. So I thought that was pretty cool. And this one was $30. So add that up, right? So I wound up getting that one. All right. And then, you know, I went walking around, and I tell you what, I spent a long time not buying anything. But when it got to those comic book sections, you know, that had some good covers and stuff like that, I was like, man, I think I gotta do it, right? I have to start buying some comics, and they just got harder and harder to decide what I wanted to buy. But I said I'm going to majorly stick to the Spider-Man theme, because when you go to a cons are overwhelming. I mean, Megacon has gotten even bigger in the past years, and there are shops. There's like 1,000 shops, and you can buy at least one thing at every single shop. So it's hard to make a decision on what you want to buy. So I said, I'm going to stick with mainly Spider-Man themed stuff, right? My first thing was to meet creators and get books signed. I only met a couple, so I went to the next best thing. So the first thing I wound up getting here is when I was walking around, my first purchase was these 3 books. And I went to an Elite Comics stand, and they had some really nice looking books here. So, and they had buy 2, get 1 free. So Miles Morales Spider-Man issue 23. We wound up getting that exclusive by Tyler Kirkham. So I wound up getting that one. So I thought that was pretty cool. And this book was $15. So add that to the total. Then they had this Amazing Spider-Man issue 59, or legacy numbering 860, another Tyler Kirkham. And this one was also $15. So I wound up getting that one. So which meant the next book was for free. So I wound up getting Venom issue 25. I wound up getting that book for absolutely free. So that doesn't add to the total. So I thought, okay, cool. All right. And then next, I was like, all right, Spider-Man themed. And then I was looking through Spider-Man books, and I went to this other stand that took up so much space. It was insane. They must have had the most books out of any comic shop that was in the convention. They had every single freaking book you can imagine. You would probably find that there. But I was going through Spider-Man books, and they had Spider-Man and the Black Cat. This one was done by Kevin Smith, and Terry Dotson did the artwork. I was a favorite of this cover. I don't come across it all that often. Love Black Cat. And so I was like, yes, have to have this cover. You can see the cover price I paid on there, $10. Add that to the total. Love that book. All right. Now you're going to kind of laugh, because I came across this and I was like, wow. 3 of almost the same covers, right? Because it became like a mission of mine. So when I was in that same place where I got that Black Cat book, I came across looking through Spider-Man books. And I shit you not, I do not have Spider-Man issue 1, the main cover. Oh, I don't know what happened to it. Maybe it got ruined, or I sold it, or whatever it is. I have the silver, but I don't have the main cover. So I wound up getting Spider-Man issue 1. It's a high grade copy. So if it's I paid $15. If I overpaid, I overpaid, but it's a high grade copy. There's nothing wrong with this book whatsoever. No ticks, no nothing. It's a classic. Everyone has to have it, you know, so I had to get it. Then I'm like, you know what? I don't have issue 13. Do they have issue 13? They did have issue 13. Another high grade book. I have never come across this book, ever. Never. I don't come across this cover. And they had it. And I'm like, for $25. I'm like, shit. I'm like, I'm going over this budget. I know what's happening. But I love the black suit on the webs, right? So I was like, yeah, we got to buy it. Then I was walking around. I was like practically done. I'm like, you know what? Let me go and just check out this last stand before we leave, right? I don't know if I should have. So I found this Amazing Spider-Man Super Special featuring Scarlet Spider Part 1 of 5. Got this one. You got Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider, also on the webs there. And this is like, the webs are foil. So you can see it kind of glisten there. So this is a foil one. I heard there was a regular one on here as well. And this features the flipbook feature of Planet of the Symbiotes. So I was like, oh man, I'm like, I have to get this. And this is high grade book. There is nothing wrong with this. The price tag on this one is $50. I paid $45 for it. I asked him if he can knock down a couple bucks, and he was like, yeah. I did not look up to see how much it actually really is, if he overcharged me for it, but you guys can let me know in the comments below. But there it is. I got 3 of the same cover virtually. But that's me. I'm the Spider-Man guy. Like, I collect all that Spider-Man stuff, and sometimes you don't normally come across that. And I had a mission, collect Spider-Man, Todd McFarlane. That was my thing. That's why I wanted to go there, because otherwise I think I would be lost, right? So those are the books I got. Let's do the calculation and let's find out how much I spent. Grand total on the comics that I bought, the signings, the artwork, was $200 exactly. So I went $100 over my budget of what I wanted to spend. Now, total con cost for everything, right? I wound up spending $10 for parking, $52 for my ticket, $42 for my son's ticket. We spent $36 on food, which we got 2 nasty ass cheesesteaks that were so disgusting that I wanted to barf. I mean, it was ridiculously overpriced and insane. So just not buying anything, right? Just going to the con itself costed me $140. So grand total with everything, comics, parking, admission, it was $340 that I spent just for me and my son. To walk in the door, to walk in the door and go, it cost about $100. It's a lot of money, man. That's why it's like you got to go into there sometimes with budgets, right? But again, the experience was great. I had a fun time. You know, I met a person. I wasn't expecting to meet really anybody that would know who I was on YouTube, but I did meet somebody, and I had a blast. It was a good time talking to the shop vendors and stuff like that, and just seeing all the people dressed up. So again, just go there with some kind of budget or expectation not to go broke, and you'll be okay. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I had a great time, and along with this today, you're getting 2 videos on Monday. I'm going to leave you my top 10 comic book covers of the week, so you guys can vote on your favorite comic book cover of the week. And of course, guys, keep buying, keep collecting, but most importantly, always read your comics.